Hello, this is going to be incremental reading session raw. It's gonna have everything I normally do, and this is no filtered. There's some insensitive data, or I mean sensitive, and like a lot of, I hope it's not too personal items I will have, but let's see. So I'll just pop up my collection, and today I do not have anything specific in mind to learn, so I'll probably just hit learn button and go through the outstanding, which is accumulating because I have currently uh, auto postpone off for some reason. I kind of jiggle between having this on and off, and I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm going with this for now. But yeah, if I had something specific in mind, I probably would go, like this management control, Alt C, and probably do some, I don't know, maybe uh, review all or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, let's go. In other words, something attempts to replicate, where entity, okay, okay. And this seems to have kind of lack of context. It's not too mature item. So I do remember this is about management control, but if this was all very old item, I might be kind of lost here. What are we talking about? In that case, I take a peek here to see, oh, it's about management control. That's fine. And if I want, I can just add management control. Okay, what was the replication? Yeah, I think this is a decentralization. This is concept in the management control course we had. So decentralization kind of attempts to replicate an entrepreneurial model. And you see this has some kind of text, and the association basically is to hatch the concept of decentralization into my mind, that it's, kind of entrepreneurial way of doing things, giving freedom to the workers. So yeah, I'm gonna explain some of my items, not all of them, but so you get kind of understanding of what I'm doing, the way I'm doing. I don't normally do this. Typically, I just quickly do that process in my head and move on. I don't spend too much time on each item. But yeah, all right. More management control. What is giving conclusion this chapter? Also, I'm not following what I'm reading with mouse, but for now, I'm doing it for educational purposes. So you see where I'm going. I'll add some size. Hold on. Uh, where is it? How can I change the size? Oh, there we go. That's that's good. Okay. So, nah, fuck that. Fuck that, it's too distracting. Okay. Okay, that's some overview. Sometimes I do this to kind of separate things as I'm reading to make it a bit easier. I think Wozniak mentioned about this at some point, but yeah. Action controls. Yeah, this is gonna give some. I am pretty familiar with, at least like superficially familiar with action controls, and behavior, result control, what, whatever there was, personal cultural controls. Also, I already passed this course, so I'm not too interested in this, but there's some value for me because I think some of this could be applicable to my personal endeavors, so to speak. So I'm basically just fishing for some practical value out of this, or some something I could use. Yeah, I think it's It's pretty boring, so let's just get rid of that. I don't think there's much value. Sometimes I do these kind of half-ass items where I just have a phrase and then I'm gonna do free association with that to kind of reinforce the concept in my mind. And it's, yeah, I have both normal closes, normal Q&A sometimes, then these weird items that nobody but me uses, so don't mind me. It's just active recall is active recall, whatever it is. Typically, you want to target certain uh, synapse in your brain. That is the normal way of doing active recall, but for me, sometimes I'm just weird like that. So let's go. Campaigns should stop spreading information on cause that everyone agrees on and should promote action. Yeah, I've read that a lot of campaigning, especially like in politics or whatever, people tend to spread information, some kind of obvious information that everybody already agrees with, and they should rather just stop doing that and then prompt people to act on behalf of some initiation. So yeah, that is. Then in answer, I have some half-assed, context also. So I'm just this is basically a reference. Don't mind about this format. This is just my. I just sometimes do this. What does my blah blah blah? There are some ideas or whatever. Yeah, I'll probably just remove these and just write some mark that this means I'm gonna do free association and do not take away anything from this. I don't, it's just the way I do things. Okay, let's focus on the traditional way of doing things. I think it's proven to be pretty effective. Ask a pressing question. Uh, yeah, I'm a lot of the time when I want to quickly the context, I go here and see, oh, this is growth handbook. This is the same uh, topic as my previous item, which makes me think I might have something in sorting criteria. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay, these are pretty highly prioritized topics, it seems. And while it's interesting, I might uh, want to change some, especially in marketing. I think I already have, let's see topics. Items are fine to be high priority, at least like some of them. Yeah, okay. Let's change priorities a bit here. I think these are too high because I'm pretty familiar with the concept, so I do not want to. Also, if you want to filter by these, I selected with shift click, like some range. Now we're gonna filter it and shift F10 PRS to go change priorities. I'm gonna change lower the priorities. We're gonna let them be at 30 to 50 range. That is good. That is good. And for these to take effect today, right now, I need to go learn sorting, sort now, or Alt L O S. Bam, that's good. Let's go. Why do we love cognitive fluency? It preserves energy. We do not need to use more energy than is needed. We're essentially building highways in our brain. This is your brain, and when something is very familiar to us, we are kind of building a speedway to it. Like we do not need to travel to multiple pathways, but we are building one way, one very straightforward way and reinforcing it, and it becomes very fluent. And this means the brain doesn't need to exert much energy. There we go. It conserves valuable energy, and this is exactly the same thing I said, but in different words. So that is a perfect answer. Good me. Good for me. Explain simply what does the arrow function do. This is a very new item. This is programming and arrow function. Um, arrow function delegates this variable. I think it says, here's a variable, do something with it. I think that's basically, it's like a custom function, a short way of doing function based on some input. Take some input, process it. See, this is a big answer. I sometimes do this to save time, but I will know that I never require a precise answer based on this. I just take the concept. This is more advanced thing and shortcuts you learn. I sometimes do these big answers and know that I only require the key concept. So I mentioned it's gonna take some input and do something with it. Take some input, process it, returns an output. Yeah, takes a number X, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So perfect answer again. It takes inputs. I do not really have the need to modify this answer to shorter because I very quickly can process it by keywords like take some input, process it, and returns. Yeah, that's good. That's the key concept. Perfect. This is optional reference if I happen to need it at some point in the future, but I probably won't. What's this working schedule? This is a Super Memos developer, the man himself, Mr. Wozniak. Uh, I don't know where this is from. Unfortunately, I don't have a link, but I see I have highlighted something. I rarely highlight anything, but in the past I used to do that, and we can see it's pretty old, very old topic. This was initiated in 2020. Let's see. May how quickly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ba 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 ba. What is? I don't know what's. Oh, this. Yeah. This is. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Following exemplar. This is about programming schedule using a supermemo for programming. And yeah, I don't really. I already have my ways, and but it's also always good to get something. Let's see. Working with the documentation. Uh, yeah, like yeah, there's some good ideas. Blah blah blah. Okay. Super database. Yeah, 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 yeah. That is good. Time needed for studying the documentation. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't really need this topic, but some good ideas. Good ideas. What is a good heuristics for finding novelty? Comparing where were you today versus where you are. Where were you yesterday versus where you are today? This is kind of a very bad item. It's very specific and it's kind of like this could be very wide range of answers you can have to this, and it's very specific to this book. So I probably will get rid of this because uh, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of meh, kind of a meh. When Halsey, oh, this is super interesting book. I actually haven't read this in a while, but I remember it had some really nice idea. And we see I remember this book was very poorly OCR'd, such that yeah, if I extract something, it will give me random characters, so it won't work very well. So for this reason, I took some context. You see, it's very bizarre, some weird ways which I have fixed most of. But anyways, this was Jacob's ladder, some economic process. I think I'm not too familiar with the concept. I do remember it was very interesting. I do remember it was about some um, ways of, I think, spreading information in, I don't remember really. Whole city specializes and trades with other than the locked-in pattern of static efficiencies. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think this is about diversity and um yeah, this is basically an argument against over specialization in cities, conflictory to what I think Adam Smith said in the past about specializing in one thing, and this had some good arguments. Um, I I do want to get more into this thing, but I don't think I currently need a lot from this. But so this is basically saying, I think the wording here is bit meh. I think we could change that. Over specializing uh, is a recipe for long-term decline as opposed to diversifying, I think like knowledge or whatever. This could be a bit off from the message, but it's good enough for me. I'll just maybe I'll just leave this as a note, like I don't know, whatever. This is not very important. I don't want to get too stuck to this, but I do want to take a peek on where I was left on this book. I like to process PDFs by ignoring things I've read and where I made extracts for precisely for this reason, because it's been a while when I read this book and I need to know where I'm left off. And I have auto hotkey script to do these things. I hold this and right click and it's gonna ignore, or do this and middle button and it's gonna do an extract. It's very convenient. I can share that script if you ask. Um, yeah, let's see. When it's been a while and I'm getting back to this, I probably can't continue right from here because I'm lacking some context. So I rather go take a look at the big title. Yeah, this is the Tangled Bank Vision. I think this is related to Jacob's ladder. Let's Yeah, development through diversification. Yeah, diva of diversity. Yeah, one also good way to get context back if I want to get into this right now would be that I go here and do a review of this book, hit learn here and do subset review or just some review all or whatever is the way I've showed in my past videos. But yeah, it's actually a very interesting book and it seems to have very large interval, and I do want to see this in near future. In the past, it didn't fit my needs at the moment, but I think now it's cooked in time a little bit, so to speak. So we're gonna let's see this again in a week. In a week, which I think 41 is good. 41 is good, and let's go. Yeah, I think this I can just hit next, or maybe just remove this altogether. But yeah, it's 100% now, and we'll see if we need this. Incentives. In global warming, the current emission rate is the country's hidden information characteristic, or like current emissions rate. Yeah, it's like yeah, hidden information, I think. Hidden characteristic. Yeah, that's good. That's the concept. Basically, this is an example of hidden information, I think. Yeah, about asymmetric information where other party has some hidden information and the other party has to work within, you know, with that. This is just one example to hatch the concept in my mind. Often it's very good to have a concept in multiple contexts, have some examples of the concept. The concept here is hidden information, or, a bigger concept is asymmetric information, and, good to have examples. Atomic learning. Sometimes I have these. I think this is a concept. No, it's not. I don't know what the fuck is this. I think it's just some dummy thing I've used in maybe when I was doing some video or whatever. Let's just remove it. Shareholders, something shareholders join forces to win a corporate votes. Oh my god, this is a weird item. I have some weird item that is very old. Uh, I have no idea. Proxify. Oh, okay. So yeah. So uh, it's asking what is the following. What is it called when shareholders join forces to win a corporate vote? Yeah, there we go. Proxified proxy contest. I don't really. This is some jargon I don't really need in my life. So, but whatever. Maybe it's useful. But let's deprioritize this with my prioritization script right to the bottom. So make sure it's not. Let's also see that our items are more priority oriented. Yeah, there's some low priority items, but yeah. Nah, actually, I have my prioritization is not on point on some parts of my collection, but anyways. Fax machine example about critical mass. Yeah, I really like this example about critical mass. Like, fax machine existed for a long time, but it reached its critical mass at 87 when, like people started to think, oh, everybody has fax machine, and it started getting some word of mouth thing um, going on. I cannot. I'm trying to associate this to some knowledge, and I think it's about, yeah. I think there's a big concept in marketing, especially, or like Facebook, like Zuckerberg. Some once I think said that it's you know we might need to do something. We might need to begin with zero profit margin to ourselves to get the ball rolling, to get this to get critical mass. And there's concept that uh, to reach critical mass, you might need to start with low prices, getting audience, and then go from there. That's the concept. Initially cheap prices. This is the concept I was referring to. These are some other concepts, but I don't, these are my weird items. I do some free association, but I'll probably just give, let these be as reference, and I don't mind. I don't mind, going against algorithm like that. Like a downside with these kind of free association items is the grading. How do you grade? Maybe if you didn't remember, what you were supposed to, but you remember some other related connection. It I don't mind. I don't mind, being a bit off with the algorithm, because I'm still getting to active recall. I'm still thinking these deliberately, and like strengthening my knowledge and concept network. So it's all fine to me. All fine. If you are starting a new project, everything you need out there is waiting for you, Amo. Yeah, I like this. Management of. How does this align with management of? Uh, hmm, that's a good question. This is some very personal thing, personal knowledge. Huh, I don't know. You're just managing. Very bad item. Very bad item. You're just managing very specific. This is bad item because it's very specific to a specific time in my life where I had some specific concerns and whatever in my life. So now, as time has passed, it is hard for me to trace back to this mental context. So it's quite bad item because it has some very weird, yeah, some very specific pattern of thoughts. But the message here is very important, which actually is very practical and applicable to, like, which actually has made a huge change in my life, uh, for reinforcing the fact that, like, every one of us is capable of doing things that other people have done, and this was concerned with me starting a company and starting projects and whatever. you know don't get stuck. Everything is there. You just start and get going, and you will find what you need, and you will find the resources. That is the message. And I have a lot of related items, and all of these together have really altered my way of thinking in a way that actually provides value to me today practically. And you know, I have a lot of behavioral changes because of these, and a lot more, practical scenarios in my life. But yeah, great e-commerce or user experience. I have a lot of from this, and a lot of knowledge. So because this is a very familiar topic, first I want to see where is this from, big commerce, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is from some article blog website, which is probably pretty general knowledge, and I am pretty sure I'm not gonna need much from this. So what I will do, I will scan the titles. Yeah, what is e-commerce, blah blah, what the fuck, I don't know this 100%. What is it? UX drives conversion, no shit. How to stay ahead of user expectation. Then now this, maybe this could have something. I do not want to be too judgmental or have some pre-chuddies or I don't know how to say that. So I'm gonna scan to smaller titles. Offer convenience, users, blah 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 blah. Yeah, as I expected, it's very general. Best simplified, blah 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 blah. This seems like some SEO article just to get traffic to this website. So not a lot of useful knowledge there. Oh, there's some old math item. I haven't done, math in a while. So this is about, I think, set theory, or these weird notations. In this equation, okay, so for every x in, I think, uh, see, I don't remember this notation. For every x in, I don't know, like natural numbers. What is this notation? It doesn't matter, the concept is here. For every x in something, uh, wow, this is weird notation. Why? Oh, okay, maybe it was like, for every x in something, there's a y in that set, such that x is smaller than y. So this is saying, I think, there's a y. This is saying, I know this is saying something, I'm trying to articulate it. Okay, okay. Uh, in this set, there's always a y larger than x. For every x, there is a number y that is greater than x, right? Oh, yeah, I started reading this, but I actually had some targeted question. I jump like that sometimes. In this equation, you recycle the same y, can use different y. Uh, yeah, you can use different y. Why not? Sure. It can be the same. It can be different, I think. Sure, sure, buddy. Sure, my past self. This is a very old item too. This is sometimes when I don't have references, I might take a look at ancestors. Here I can see it's about observation, which is very favorite branch of mine, where I write only practical, actual observations in my life. Um, you know, such that the internet is full of abstract knowledge that other people, think is the right way to do or based on their mental models. But my personal life, I have my own variable. I'm surrounded by my own environments, own variables, and such that the most reliable knowledge is what I empirically see in my life. So this branch is dedicated to these. And this is a pattern of thought which, when developing app or software, where I think the functionality, I have kind of a uh, mental, how do you say it, practice where I think, uh, like when I'm building, say, an app, and I'm trying to think the functionality. What is the app supposed, what it should do? And like I'm then come up with some problems. Maybe the app should keep record of my tasks, what I will have to do in the future. So I found it's helpful to think it in people terms. I found it to be helpful to think that, okay, so how would it look if instead of an app, this would be a personal assistant, a person doing things for me? So how it would look if, and how useful it would be if there was a person who handed the tasks to me to do, and then I do something with them, and then the person does something else for me, and so forth. It's just a mental thought of finding useful things, and this is also based on some knowledge, I think some interview with some AI guy who mentioned with AI they find tasks that are repetitive to do, and then I think they do it manually or with people first, and when they find these repetitive tasks, uh, only then they start doing AI for them instead of just blasting everything with AI. But yeah, I want to keep this, but I don't need to see it in a while, and I probably just manually scroll through this branch. Some very old items. Yeah, lately I've been more focused on action and projects, so I've been lacking SM. So now the old items are coming with flowing on my face. What do you have to do in order to check if these numbers are divisible by 2? All right, yeah, I think there was some shortcut. I don't know if this is very useful. I haven't found. Well, let's see. I think like could it be that you can just take the last number and see if it's divisible by 2? Nah, that is what comes to my mind, but I do not remember other way. Let's see. Oh, it was right. Perfect, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. If this is divisible by 2, then these tens are 2. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So math, I might get back into math. I'm I'm not very good at math, but I think there could be some practical useful things. Thermodynamics. I like physics. Uh, hmm. Yeah, there are. Yeah, I never got good knowledge for physics from school. I don't think I paid attention. I think biophysics could have too many concepts I'm not familiar with, so I probably need to start with something else. Yeah, I think there's like yeah, I'm not even sure what I would like to see from this, but I have this here because I'm curious. Maybe someday I come to this book and it seems useful. That is the beautiful thing about SM, really. Fundamentals of physics. Yeah, I think here could be some concepts that I'm interested to learn about right now. This is also in very long intervals because at some point studied physics a bit, but then I, you know, left left and yeah, let's see. Hmm. Ooh. Ooh, this sounds pretty Hmm. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But I do try to maximize the practical value and applicable value. I do want to avoid just reading things for entertainment. I try to find mainly things that are practical and useful and applicable in my life. But you never know how these associations can help. However, I do want to be somewhat reserved with these more theoretic things. Yeah. All right, well, I'll leave this as here. Let's review this in 35 days if I'm feeling different about theoretical things. There are definitely some interesting concepts, but I do want to keep things practical for now. Here's some example about good uh, good design, good copywriting, good user experience, good speaking to users. Here is the solution. Yeah, blah blah blah. Solve it now. This, with numerous examples, has hatched this concept in my mind such that I can practically think about this when I'm designing things. I don't really know how I could to which I could free associate this to, but I'll just it's fine. It's an example. That's good. Yeah. Uh, yeah. 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 There's some lot of concepts. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. It's just an example of as I mentioned when I met this item. It's an example of good good right good messaging to users and good UX. So that's good enough association and yeah. This is an item. Maybe this could be better off being passive topic. That could be good. So I'm not, the grading is kind of iffy. Uh, yeah, maybe we'll do just that. We turn this into a topic with Control P. Yeah, it's gonna give probably some. Oh no. Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, whoops. It's gonna give some errors. What did I do? Did I just go through like 10 items? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Single item doesn't have a big impact to your life. It's the accumulation of a lot of items in different contexts, and you kind of need a lot of items to build prominent concepts in your head, and a lot of examples in real life too, and practice and lots of things. Oh my God, this is very old from a very dry law course in my school. It was very dull, but some knowledge I do want to preserve because I spent a lot of time learning these things. So let's see. Um, no, it doesn't. No, no, it doesn't. It's about insurance thing, and I don't want to start translating that. Here are some comments. Sometimes when I'm scrolling forums, I might see some nice comment. I take that and take the link so I can refer that and yeah. Okay, what are the apps and tools that you use in your blah blah blah? Probably business. Strike. Yeah, I don't need CRM. Just yeah, Zapier is good. It's very expensive. Yeah, that's good. get rid of that. So I have script for done. So what I did there was done with Control Shift Enter, but I have a script that makes it slightly easier, quicker. Uh, oh, this is quite bad. This is same law stuff and quite bad item. Uh, ugh. Yeah, if so, this is asking how could legally uh how could legally a limited liability company could you know give away some of its assets, I think, to others than shareholders or cash flow, I'm not sure. So one way is by gifting, by you know documenting a gift you are giving to some organization or whatever. They have these in their um, I don't remember the word, but second would be, I think, if it's a non-profit organization, then you are legally allowed to. Yeah, that's other than for profit. So basically, what I said. Oh, we got some economics. I'm not really into economics, even though I am in university studying economics, or rather business. Economics is one part of it, but yeah, I think it's quite boring. There's probably some solo models. Yeah, solo model. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's somewhat interesting. I could take a more practical way of looking at that concept. I think this whole chapter 2 is about solo growth model. I've done this a couple times, and to be honest, I don't think I have I have assimilated the concepts, key concepts in this. Though I do need some reviewing to get it back into my mind fresh. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's not very interesting or useful to me, I don't think. I do want to get into some macroeconomics at some point. I think that would be useful. Why am I running low on? Oh, shoot. Okay, well, yeah, this one is slow session. I normally I go bits faster because I'm not explaining things, obviously. But yeah, this is a short session. I might do a longer one later, but let's roll with that. I'll yeah, that's good. All right, thanks. Bye.